Every single human, regardless of social standing, culture, or time period, cannot resist the following three: voicing out irrelevant opinions, flexing stupid and minor accomplishments, and complaining. Oh, back in my day. It's something people have been saying since 2800 BC, as proven by the Akkadian Empire tablet. We have fallen upon evil times, and the world has waxed very old and wicked. Politics are very corrupt. Children are no longer respectful to their parents. And today we have Facebook, X, Google reviews, and heck, even YouTube as tools for expressing ourselves in front of potentially thousands of people that don't care. While the tools the ancient world had were clay, papyrus, and the walls of cultural landmarks. And through them, in this episode, we'll be going back in time to investigate some of the most ancient examples of human self-importance. From shitposting and status updates to customer complaints. Get ready for some modern day yapping. Because there's so much we can learn about ancient history, not through wars and philosophers, but from regular people. Only they can really describe what daily life was actually like back then. And exactly thanks to their writings, we can draw some very interesting parallels between past and present today. Take for example this attendance sheet from ancient Egypt. Worthy causes for someone's absence back then include bitten by a scorpion, embalming brother, wife and daughter bleeding, and brewing beer. These really give us a glimpse into what daily struggles were thousands of years ago. The first two need no further explanation. It's believed that wife and daughter bleeding refers to menstruation, and it's nice to think that the man of the house must stay with them during such tough times. The third I'll clarify as well. By brewing beer, I don't mean middle-aged crisis garage IPAs. Because beer in ancient Egypt was essentially part of basic nutrition, since it gave people protein that unfermented grains could not supply. Now something else found in Egypt were the first ever Yelp reviews. When the tomb of Ramses V was only a couple hundred years old, the ancient Greeks would not only visit, but also carve their impressions of the landmark onto its walls. They wrote things like, "I visited and didn't like anything but the sarcophagus," or simply, "I was here and I admired." But what's even better, quite special, is some visitors left comments under the reviews. One that stated, "I do not understand the writing at all," had a reply which was essentially, "Why do you care that you cannot read the hieroglyphs? I do not understand your concern." Another example of Greek graffiti that to me really resonates with modern Facebook behavior is the writing on this big ass rock. Byron, son of Fowler, could lift this over his head. And sure, it could be Byron who wanted to flex, could have been one of his friends wanting to hashtag fitness goals his bro, but I like to imagine that it was actually his father, incredibly proud of his son's achievement, wanting everyone else to know of it, like when your mom shares your YouTube videos on her Facebook page. Anyways, continuing with graffiti, I have to say, nothing inspires kinship with people of the past quite like Roman shitposting. It really shows how our desire to be heard and feel important, even though we've done nothing extraordinary, predates social media. Now, some of the messages are sweet, like, "Vibius slept here alone and missed his darling Urbana," which isn't something you'd expect to see on the walls of a brothel. And, "We two dear men, friends forever, were here. If you want to know our names, they're Gaius and Aulus," which is exactly what you'd expect to be written on the walls of a bar. But a lot were less poetic and more along the lines of "screw insert name here" or "I screwed insert name here." And a worrying number were about people stating where they defecated. That includes the ones written on actual toilets. Which leads me to believe that poop was just funny to us even back then. No need for a joke or setup, just poop. But on to my favorites, the complaints. Dissatisfaction with bureaucracy has apparently existed since bureaucracy itself. Something very clear from this Babylonian tablet. "I'm not getting water from my sesame field. The sesame will die. Don't tell me later you did not write to me. The sesame is visibly dying. Ebilbot saw it. The sesame will die, and I have warned you." And did you think I wasn't going to speak of the copper incident? Or the very first "what was advertised" versus "what you get" post? Which is so long, but I can summarize it as, "Quality not as advertised and you have been rude to me. I would like a refund. Respond. Respond. Please respond." And finally, this cave painting. Archaeologists summarized it as, I quote, "people dealing with some pretty heavy stuff." But what I like to think is that this is one of the very first reaction images. I mean, just look at it with some bottom text. "When girlfriend says no ooga booga tonight. When your mom takes away the saber-toothed tiger bone. I think we often view people from the past as being completely different socially, but there's so much evidence that these guys were just like us. And since we've learned that and so much more from regular people voicing irrelevant opinions, I'd like you to think about this. Whenever you write a Facebook status or a Yelp review, know that in 5,000 years, when people are using super internet, Tumblrologists and cryptocurrencyologists will be having conversations about the Facebook marketplace profile of Karen Smith, the same way we are discussing Ines here today. Or someone might find your COVID TikToks and learn from them like we learned about the plague times from the Diary of Samuel Pepys. It's an interesting thought. And I think I might go delete my Tumblr now. Okay, bye.